So welcome to Pool Dreams TV. Our question today comes from a viewer who asks how to avoid being sharked. So I'm going to give you 6 ways to help you avoid being sharked, whether you're playing a tournament or a match. Okay, the first way to avoid being sharked is to decide that you can't be sharked. Of course, that's easier said than done, especially if you hear it for years. Some of those people, right? They're just like, oh, it doesn't bother me. Oh, good for them. Anyway, first thing is decide that you can't be sharked. Think about basketball players shooting a free throw. There's cheerleaders and pom-poms and people yelling and all of this going on, but they still have to perform under all that pressure. When they're in a game shooting a basketball player, they get blocked, pressure, physical pressure, and they still can concentrate and make the shot. Now think about gymnasts doing all these amazing stunts basically on apparatus that if they lose their concentration and fall off, that would be bad. And there's a lot of noise and crowds and music and yelling and people yelling their name while they're doing their routines. They yell out their name while they're like flying through the air and about to land on a 4-inch beam. So what I think about that is that they must be mentally focused in a place where that doesn't bother them, because under a tremendous amount of pressure, they perform with people yelling their name and all this going on around them. Their coach is running under them to spot them, and other gymnasts are flying through the air out of the corner of their eye. They could see that, and people are cheering, and all of this is going on, but they maintain their focus. So that makes me think that nothing can really distract us visually if we're really focused on what we're doing. And we have the training and preparation to execute. And just like this guy here, he's not going to drop her because he's not going to forget to catch her because something out of the corner of his eye moves. No. Doesn't matter when or where. He's gonna do what he's supposed to do and maintain his focus. Just like you're gonna do. You're not gonna forget to make the ball. You're not gonna forget to follow your routine. If someone jumps in front of you, sharks you, pokes you in the back, laughs at you, says something horrible, okay? If you decide that none of that matters, none of that matters. And honestly, none of it matters. Because the part of you that is the pool player, that knows how to play pool, it doesn't care about perfect conditions. It cares that whatever practice you've given it, whatever training you've given it. So train yourself that, hey, none of those things matter. You're going to follow your routine. And that gets us to the second way to avoid being sharked, is to not take it personal. And also prepare for imperfect conditions. Because whatever level you're on, there's probably going to be somebody that's going to do something unscrupulous. That's just this world. So focus on what you can control, because we can either control every sharker and try to handle it, or we can just not let it bother us. The best way is to just not let it bother you. And don't worry about why they're doing it. If it's on purpose, if it's accidental, it doesn't even matter. Don't take it personal. And if you find yourself taking it personal, just to ask yourself, who is offended by this? What part of me? What is it that's upset right now? And you'll probably find that feeling sort of starts to evaporate. Mystical trick. Okay. The third way you can avoid being sharked is to prepare. Focus on your routine. The more solid your routine and your technique is, the less anything is going to deter you from carrying through your routine. Your routine should have a solid start and a solid finish. And every time you start that routine, however many steps it has, it should be like a ballistic motion. Once you start step 1, you go step 2, step 3, step 4 to shoot, finish your shot. That's your routine. So the more solid your pre-shot routine is and your shooting routine is, the less anything can distract you, because it's muscle memory. And the deeper that memory is of, once I get down, then I do this. And, oh, Joe Schmo just jumped out of the corner of my eye onto my table. I could stop here and start over, or I could know if I'm still on. And that's it. Keep your routine, hone your routine, do your routine in practice, do your routine on every shot, and that will amaze you, just in general, how crucial that is. No matter what the shot is, no matter how easy, how hard, if you're being sharked, if you're not being sharked, do your routine. If you're mad, if you're sad, if you care, if you don't care, do your routine. Every time you do your routine, you are focusing on something you control, and you are focusing on one crucial aspect to your success. If you would like to know more about pre-shot routines or ideas, or have questions about that, I'd love to try it out. So, next thing, number 4. Fourth way you can avoid being sharked is keep your eyes on the table. So if you're in the chair and you're looking all around the room, watching all the TVs and watching everybody else shoot and watching the food go by and thinking about what you're going to have to eat and looking at the menu and looking at Facebook and doing all these things, if that's helping you focus, go for it. But another thing you can consider is just, if you just sit there and watch the table, or watch the cue ball, or watch how the balls react, or just watch somebody that helps you get in stroke, but be conscious about what you're feeding your mind. If you're losing your focus, you're getting sharked easily, you might never have been in focus to begin with. So give yourself a chance to focus. Teach yourself to focus. It's like a muscle. This concentration, it's like a muscle that you exercise. So when you train, when you practice, do something that tests your mental endurance and work it out like a muscle. I can focus 10 minutes today. Tomorrow, I'm going to focus 12 minutes. Today I shot 100 million balls. Tomorrow I'm going to shoot 100.5 million. Or just every shot I'm going to focus on this thing until I can't do it anymore. Every single time I get to the table, I'm going to do my routine, no matter how exhausting or boring it is. And then you're going to have success. When you define success into something you can control. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do my routine. All that stuff's going to relax you and help you focus more and go deeper into being in your body. Because that's where you want to be when you play pool. You want to be in your body. You're an athlete. You don't want to be in your head wondering, like, why is this guy sharking me? Or what's going on over there? Or who's winning the game? Or why'd that person say that on Facebook? Or you don't want to be all over the place. You want to be centered, peaceful. That's why we're in a little Zen room here. So prepare yourself to enter that space where you can be in the zone, where you can focus and concentrate. Teach your mind to focus. Whatever you make interesting for your mind in today's 2-second attention span world, or whatever it's at these days, you can teach yourself to think however you want. You can teach yourself how to focus. You exercise it like a muscle. So whether you use meditation or yoga or exercise or something that pushes you to have mental endurance. If you can do it on the pool table or another sport, exercise your mental endurance. And then you'll be able to focus for longer before you get fatigued because you'll be used to it. It's like a muscle. But it's also a zone. And you have to believe that that zone is attainable to you anytime you choose to go there. Being focused is a place you put yourself. But you have to find out, how do you trigger yourself to focus and do that? That's where your routine comes in. Okay. Eyes on the table. Teach your mind to focus. So if you make what's going on the table very interesting to you, when you get to the table, as you do that more and more, make it interesting to you. Find something interesting or intricate about the game, how the balls roll, or something you like, the sound of them dropping in the pockets, whatever it is. Find something that tunes you into your senses about the game and make it interesting, and you'll find that you'll naturally start focusing on those things. So when you're sitting in a chair, maybe watch the table or watch the cloth or watch the cue ball or something that tells yourself, this is what I'm interested in right now. If you're all over the place and then you just jump on the table, you might still be all over the place. So the fifth way you can avoid being sharked is, I got 2 cool visualizations for you. Visualizing is very powerful because you're telling yourself what you want instead of being in an energy of like you're susceptible to sharking, or you got to worry about it, or you're going to play this guy and this is, you don't have to worry about any of that. But here's a way to boost your image of yourself as a person that decides that they cannot be sharked. This is going to boost that, like, no matter how you feel about it, this stuff works. This is how the brain works. You're giving it a goal. And the more you give it this goal, it's going to work for you. So you want to visualize positive. And a way to do that is you're going to visualize, and it could just take 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Do it here and there, whatever. But feel it when you do it. Go there. So you're going to imagine yourself, you're playing pool, right? You can close your eyes. You're playing pool, right? You're in a tournament. Everything's great. Why not, right? Be the hero of your own story. If you're going to picture your life, why not picture it being awesome? So you're just freaking. You're playing the best pool every day, all the time. Sorry, getting carried away with this visualization stuff. We're visualizing, we're playing pool, and we're in a tournament, right? Everybody's watching, you hear the noise, blah, blah, blah. You're playing good, you're focused on what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing. Now, sharky, guy, girl, whatever. The waitress, your opponent, and their next door neighbor. Everybody all of a sudden decides they're going to shark you. There's just people around the table. This guy's sharking you. Whatever bothers you, put all that stuff in there. Okay? It's all around you. You're just being sharked all over. Now, just maybe your heart rate's increasing. I know mine is. Thinking of this, I'm like, okay, focus through this. Okay. So you're going to breathe. Take some deep breaths. And you're going to see yourself just completely being immersed in what you're doing. The feel of the cue, the sound of the cue, seeing your path on the table, seeing your object ball go in and your cue ball come right to where you want it. You're feeling so good walking around the table, and everybody else just fades into the background. You and the table and the balls and your cue stick, all of that becomes brighter, bigger, brighter, more vivid than everything else. Everybody and everything else just fades into sort of like background noise, static, because you're so in the feeling of what you're doing. You're shooting, and the ball, and the table, and the pattern, the feel of the cue in your hand, the chalk, all of it. You can feel and sense everything. And so visualize that, because it's going to flip it in your mind of, hey, I'm immune to this. They're not doing anything to me. I can be in my zone no matter what's going on. It's choice. It's somewhere I go. I take it with me, and I know how to get there. And I decide I can go there. That was the bigger and brighter visualization. Now, another little visualization you can do. I'll sum this up faster than the last one. All right. Just picture yourself like in a theater, like where they have plays, and your shooting pool on a table that's on the stage, and there's a spotlight on you, and again, all that distraction is in there. All these people are sharking you. They're in the spotlight with you. Okay, now you're shooting, you get down on the ball, or you're looking at the ball, you're walking around the table, you see yourself playing, you feel yourself playing, you see yourself looking at what you're doing on the table, and the spotlight shrinks until all you can see is you and the table. So it's just another powerful visualization of when you're focused, that choice is yours. So if your attention is going into keeping a sensory awareness of the game and what you're doing, then your attention's going to go there. And the more you do that, the stronger you get with that. And my sixth and final way to avoid being sharked is minimize other irritations. If you've got a long day ahead of you at a tournament, you're going to want to minimize things that make you tired, irritable, annoyed, frustrated, anything like that. And it's a matter of knowing yourself. It's because if your energy level or your tolerance level is like here, or you're, but then you get tired and you get hungry and you get snappy and you get annoyed or you get frustrated, whatever, now you have less energy to deal with more distractions and less aptitude to focus. So you have to keep your energy up, eat good, stay hydrated, give yourself the best environment for you to focus. If a little quiet time before your match where you can give yourself a little pep talk is what you need, do that. If you want to splash your face and wake yourself up, or grab a water, or whatever it is, do a routine where you feel comfortable once you get to the table. You feel like you can relax, settle into the match, and really focus. If small talk isn't really your thing and you get impatient with that, avoid it. You keep some of your energy for what you're there to do. If you know someone complains and it gets under your skin, or you get a bad vibe from it, avoid that person. You're there to work. You're there to play. You're there to focus. And enabling someone to complain doesn't help anyone anyway. So, don't feel bad. You can avoid other irritants like Facebook or television. If that doesn't energize you or make you feel good or inspired, you might want to stay away from those things. Or like consumption. If we sit there and read 15 articles on the internet, or watch 22 videos, or scroll, the mind gets tired. It doesn't know. It's like you're giving it so much input, and it's better to give yourself a diet of what you want. Champion feelings, champion input, like The other day I went to a tournament. I listened to something inspiring before I went in, and by the time I knew it, I felt good. I felt like a winner. And I feel like if I didn't listen to that, I might have let all the other chatter in my head take me on a little trip and forget that I had been thinking about winning this tournament all week. And maybe I didn't wake up feeling up to that day because everything didn't go how I thought I wanted it to go. But that's, again, prepare for interruption. Prepare for not playing perfect. Prepare for needing to play safe. Prepare for being sharked, whatever, imperfect conditions. And just know that you can adjust to anything, and you can choose how you're going to respond to anything. So again, quick recap. The 6 ways to avoid being sharked are: decide you can't be sharked. Remember the champion athletes, they're not sharked. Don't take it personal. Expect imperfect conditions. Don't take it personal. Prepare and keep to your routine. Make your routine and technique solid so it holds up when you got things going on around you. It'll carry you. Keep your eyes on the table. The 5th way, do some visualizations. You're bigger and brighter than them. You're in the spotlight. Your focus is the spotlight, and they're not in it when you're playing. Maybe in between matches, you give yourself to people. Oh, it's fine. The person that's playing is different than that person who's so nice to everyone. In between matches, be nice to everyone. It's cool. When you're playing a match, focus on what you're doing. That's what you're there for. Visualizations. And number 6, minimize other distractions and things that fatigue you. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this pilot episode of Pool Dreams TV. I'm Jessica Barnes, and I hope to see you soon. If you like what I have here, if you have any questions, comments, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification, and let me know what you think. Let me know how it worked for you. Let me know if you tried out any of this, and let me know if you have any questions about anything or something you want me to address. All right. Thanks. Good night.